What's poppin', everybody? It's Saber54. Today I decided to do a little review for the Anime 25th collection for the One Piece TCG. I kinda gave up doing set reviews a while ago. I don't know if I'm gonna renew them, but for this one I decided, hey, I just want to review this set. I didn't really know what other video to make, so this is just something to talk about. So this set is gonna be pretty cool. It's EB02 basically, another special extra set. And the idea is it's going to be based around the arts on all the cards are going to be based on anime art. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's mostly anime-esque cards or key parts from the anime specifically. Who knows? That's what they call it. So one of the cool things about this set is that it reprints the mini leaders basically as kind of full arts with gold lettering. So I don't got like the actual original leaders for many of these, but if you check the original leader, like for example, we go down for Reiju, for example, there's always that text box with the effect that sort of blocks a little bit of the artwork. So in this case, we get to see Reiju's lovely lower body better. Same for the other characters. Vegapunk and Chopper. You know, the text box would normally block a little bit of the art, but in this sort of version, you get extra artwork. So it's kind of like a full art leader in a way. Artwork is based on the original, like common artworks, but it's going to be holographic. I don't know how expensive they're going to be, but that's what we're getting. It includes the leaders from basically OP5 through OP8. All of them, as you guys can see, with the exception of Sakazuki, because he got banned, they excluded him, which is a bit sad or rather weird, but at the same time, he's banned, so if they just reprint him, nobody's going to be able to use him. It's a little bit funny though, because everybody else is included. Okay, so let's check out some of the cool cards. I don't think I'm going to do everything, but let's check out some of the interesting cards. This Sabo here is Dressrosa and Revolutionary Army is a 2k counter. The effect is you rest this character up to one of your Revolutionary Army characters other than Sabo gets 2000 during this turn. So this is kind of cool because he's a 2k counter in hand as well. So useful effect plus 2k, that's nice. You got this Chopper, which we have a lot of too many of these Choppers that are cost 3. And they got like 4,000 or 3,000 attack or less, and you basically can easily just combo them with the other Choppers, and you got a whole Chopper deck with animals. So this one, what it does is Dawn 2, opponent's turn, this character gains 2,000, and then if your leader has the Straw Hat type crew, give up to 1 rested Dawn to one of your leader or characters. So it's an okay effect. But the real value is the fact that you can just get it easily down when you play the Alabaster Chopper, or just getting this through the OP8 Chopper's effect, summoning him through that. That's where the value comes. Okay. This guy sucks, so I'm not even going to bother. Yamato, this is pretty good. She's chilling in the onsen hot spring here with the monkeys. The full art is a lot cooler. This is a pretty good card though. It's similar to the Rush Luffy in the sense that, you know, if your leader has the Land of Wano or his port gets the Ace, give up to 1 rested Dawn card to one of your leader, then this character gains Rush during this turn. So it's a little bit differently worded than the Rush Luffy from the latest Straw Hat starter deck, but basically it's kind of the same thing. You don't get to put the Dawn anywhere, but it's going to be slightly higher cost, slightly higher power rush character, and you get to give a Dawn to your leader. Once it gets rushed, it gets that quick attack, and then every turn you can put in that extra Dawn somewhere, because it's activate main, so pretty good. Very good red card for sure. We got Cloven Rose Blizzard, up to 3 of your leader or characters gain plus 1000, then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3000 power or less. The trigger is KO a character with 4,000 less. So it's kind of, you know, here or there effects that could come up. With the Chopper deck, you know, you do this sort of thing where you get a bunch of characters and Chopper can boost them. With this, I guess you can boost them further. and then you decrease power with some effects as well. Maybe you can get a kill, a KO with this too. Okay. Then we got these sort of beta cards, which are kind of interesting. All of them have the same effect. They're a music trait, and they're basically for all the different colors. So it doesn't really look, it doesn't really appear well because this is supposed to be a beta card. They left it like this on purpose, but you can still see the cost 2 here and the color red, and then they sort of circle the trigger as well. But they do the same thing. It's a search a card. You look at the top 4 cards on top of your deck, reveal 1 card with 4, cost 4 or more, add it to your hand, bottom the rest of them. So you got this one for red. You got this one for green. I think this one is the coolest. You get the Sanji here for blue, Hope. This one looks really nice as well. I'm not quite sure where this Sanji is from maybe from the Vinsmoke shit, maybe. Brand New World. This is, I can't really tell from the art, but this is for purple, and then there's got to be one for yellow too, right? Or black, this one. Kokoro no Chizu. And One Piece, Us. This one is for yellow. Okay, so pretty cool. Every color gets this type of searcher card. I don't think it's that good, but whatever. We get a new 1000 Sunny stage. Give up to one of your currently given down cards to one of your Straw Hat type characters. So does this already exist and this is like another art, or am I wrong? Is it different than the other 1000 Sunny? I don't remember. We get this new Monkey D. Luffy leader, which is supposed to be pretty good. What it does, it's a purple-green combination, like Flamingo from OP4. If the only characters on your field are Straw Hat type crew character, set up to 2 of your Dawn cards is active, then this leader gains 1000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this is pretty strong because it gives him that sort of Whitebeard, 6k base. It's harder to target, messes up with your curve when you gotta put like an extra Dawn on your leader for you to be able to swing successfully. And it's a -2 Dawn effect, but the purple cards, they do this Dawn stuff where you pay Dawn, you get Dawn back, you combo with different cards. I don't really know all the ins and outs, but from what I've been hearing, this is going to be a strong leader. And a lot of the support here and the last couple of sets is going to help him out. There's a lot of different purple Straw Hat cards now. Okay. Get the full art. Looks pretty sweet, I'm not going to lie. You get this Arlong too. Pretty scary. It almost even doesn't look like him, like he's possessed or something. But I read this card before. It's a kind of a cool card. The base power, he's at 4 for 3, so you're going to need to commit a Dawn for this guy to be useful in terms of attacking leaders. But on play, if your leader has the Fishman or East Blue type, give up to 1 rested Dawn to one of your leader. And then up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this is a unique effect we haven't really seen before. It pretty much means that if a card can't be rested, they can attack or activate effects when they're rested. So if they're already rested, you can't target them, so it makes it a bit weak in that sense. But if your opponent plays a card and then you play this and then you target the card, it's almost like a freeze technically. So that's kind of good. And you give a Dawn to your leader, so that's nice as well. It's got a counter in hand as well, so I guess if you don't want to summon it, it's not going to be completely useless in hand. So I think it's pretty good. It's pretty much support for, Arlong as a leader and just Fishmen in general. So that's cool. Then we got Gaimon. What this guy does is basically if you got the chick, which I'm going to show you, he gets blocker, so he's a 1/1 blocker. And the chick is her. I'm actually not familiar with her. I'm guessing these are like maybe some sort of anime OVA, Japanese exclusives we didn't see, because I'm not familiar with her. Or maybe from a specific manga chapter. Her effect is when you play you play her down, you get to play a Gaimon from your hand. She's in a bucket too. I guess she's like, this guy finally got a girl. Okay, if you want to use this sort of engine. Then we got Carrot, something that I like to see. More 2K Minx from my Carrot deck. The effect is basically a zoo fetcher in a way. If you got 3 or more done, when you play this down, you look at the top 7 cards, reveal up to 1 zoo, add it to your hand, and that's it. Don't really want to do it, it's kind of risky, but as a 2K counter, she's cool. Very cute card. Looking forward to it. Then we got Julie Bonnie. This card is broken as all hell. They pretty much made her to work in her leader deck, basically, the Julie Bonnie deck. So it's a 7/7. Up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active. So, you know, green, what the green does, freeze characters. But at the end of your turn, you get one of your rested dons as active. So basically, you get to, if you got 7 dons, you get to pay the whole thing to summon her. And then at the end of your turn, you're going to get the don back. So the leader Bonnie can negate an attack, basically. So must have card, basically, in your deck. Or a pretty good one at least. The base power is a little bit iffy for the cost, 7 and 7. But she's also a counter in hand, you know. You sort of get a don back when you think about it for the leader. So I don't think it's that bad. I'd run her. Not too sure how many copies, but at least a few. It makes sense. You get the full art here as well. She's like getting stuffed with shit, eating. Okay, then we got Chopperman. This is from like the little spin-off episodes where Chopper is superhero. Name is always treated as Tony Chopper, and on play another animal, cost 3 or less, so more Chopper cards basically. Good stats, nice effect. I think those Chopper red-green decks are getting a lot of good power here, for sure. There's too many different Chopper cards that work with each other. You get like an entire Chopper deck. Then we got Nami. This art, not so great. This one a lot better. East blue with her little green shirt. Arlong tattoo. Love it. So this is basically your searcher for the new Luffy deck that's green here. But you can also use this in the other, I guess, Straw Hat decks that are green. We got like the green, like the really old red-green Luffy. There's probably a few other ones that are green. I mean, any deck where you're going to use the green engine, you can use this. There's a bunch of the green film Straw Hat cards too. So she can essentially fetch them if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they're listed as film and Straw Hat. So this will be pretty good. She's your typical, you know, 1-2K searcher. Really hot. Then we got Buggy pulling this face off. 4/6, and on play, if you have no other buggy characters up to one of your leader gains double attack. Could be something in different types of green decks. It doesn't have any specific leader limitation. And then it also has a trigger, rest up to one of your characters with cost 4 or less. So not bad. Then the Zoro, old school Zoro when he was still sort of a lone bounty hunter. Again, another new green Luffy card for the Luffy deck here, but you can use this in different Straw Hat decks. If you have 2 or more, if your opponent has 2 more characters, this guy can attack the turn it's played as long as it's characters. So it's not straight rush, but it will be able to attack characters. And then if your leader has Straw Hat, then you get to rest up something that costs 4 or less. So essentially, if you run it in a Straw Hat deck, basically, where your leader is Luffy or something, he's always going to be able to attack a character when you play him down. Not straight rush, but a character. So that's cool. Then we got the Jump Giant Pistol. I don't think this card is very good. The bonus you get for the 3 Dawn, 6k, is not so great when you know about the cost. The selected character will not become active in your next refresh phase. So this is pretty shitty. There's counters that give you 6k, so 6k for main with this drawback is not so good. The trigger is nice a little bit. At least you get that as well. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters, 4 or less. But I don't fully feel this card. I mean, I get it. It's the giant pistol, you know, where Luffy became a giant for the first time, Gear 3. Fighting against Lucci, and then he's got to rest up. But yeah. And then we got Usopp. Same card. This one is a little bit more, what's the word? cheerful, that's not the word I'm looking for, but anyway, endearing, I guess you could say. So this is basically, if you have 2 or less characters with 5,000 power or less, you can basically play a character with 6 power or less from your hand, as long as it doesn't have an effect. So this is like a Jinbei for something that doesn't have an effect. So it's pretty good. I mean, it makes sense for this to be red, so it could have been used in like the Sanji deck from the reprint set, red Sanji leader that gives rush to non-effect characters, but they made him blue, so who knows where we can use him. Crocodile, I don't like this card very much. It's too bad. New Crocodile card and they didn't make it that great. Basically, when something is bounced in hand, you can arrange the top 3 cards of your deck. That's it. Not that great for me. You got this Usopp or Sogeking. Always treat this as Usopp. Draw 2 cards, place 2 cards at the bottom of the deck, and in return cost 1. Not that great. Rocinante. If your leader is Rocinante, look at 5 cards, play up to a cheap 2 character or less. Again, it's +1 technically, character from the deck, but difficult condition. You're gonna have to stack stuff to make this work. Total opposite of this, Vivi, which is, this is a very good card. Good old Vivi with the Dancer Girl outfit, sexy. So this is good in pretty much any dual color deck with blue. I do wonder if this is going to be that great because she gives you draw 2, Pot of Greed on summon, but her stats are not that good. So once you play her, I guess it's still alright. You get a body down, maybe you can use later, but I don't know. To me, I like the ulti a lot better, that many people I think forgot about her from OP5. But yeah, when you play this down, a leader is multicolored, draw 2 cards. So something that's possibly nice in the Marco deck, in the new Nami yellow-blue leader that's going to come out. Any other blue leader that I'm not thinking of that's dual color, you get to use this. Pretty nice. In her own deck, basically, the Vivi from OP4, you can use her. Vista, he bottom deck something, but it has to be 1,000 power less, so it's pretty weak. Ace, this card is also pretty weak. If it's a Whitebeard leader, reveal 5 cards from the deck and summon something cost 2 or less. It's pretty big cost, 5 for 5. And you don't really get to summon something big, cost 2. I don't think so, man. It's too bad. This is like cool Ace art from Alabasta. It's too bad. This is just a vanilla. Good old The Dragons. Yeah, it's not so good. I think I need to hurry up. I don't want to waste too much time. This does a bunch of... We have 3 more Dons. I don't know what it does. Read up to 1 Galilon. It's a searcher card in a way, and a 2k counter. So not bad. Klabautermon. If you have Merry Go, which is the Go and Merry basically, it's going to be a blocker. This guy, I don't even know this guy, but it's from the Foxy Pirates, it says. Sanjin Pudding. This card is so amazing. Awesome artwork, and it's a very good card. Gotta love these guys. Wish them the best. If One Piece was a romance anime, they'd be together, but who knows what Oda's gonna do in the future. Maybe Sanji's gonna save her from the Blackbeard Pirates. Okay, I'm going for spoilers. But anyway, this card is pretty good because it's got decent stats for the cost. It doesn't have a counter, but that's fine. When you have 2 or more Dawn cards, or when 2 or more Dawn cards are returned to your deck, add up to 1 Dawn card and set as active. So it obviously is going to be pretty good when you have her down and then you play something that puts Dawns back in your Dawn deck. You get 1 back. So good shit like that. And then on play, if the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal or less than your opponent, you draw 1. So it's a nice +1. Just how I like it. So this is a pretty good card. I think she's going to find herself, or they're going to find themselves in a lot of decks. Sanjin Pudding. Speaking of another cool and sexy card, good old Nico Robin before the time skip. Betcha this is going to be an expensive ass card. But she's good because she's a blocker and she's a searcher too, basically. So when she dies, you get to reveal the top 3, get a Straw Hat type card, and then add it to your hand. So she's going to be good in her own deck if you run a bunch of the purple shit in a Robin deck from OP9, and in a purple Luffy deck too, I guess. Good shit. Blocker +1. You got Frankie. I never read this card. What do you do? If your leader is Straw Hat, less add up to 1 Dawn card. So it's an on-play but when attacking too. It doesn't have... you're going to have to put a Dawn though for this card to attack something significant. You get Dawns all the time though, so maybe it'll be good. Magellan. Play an Impel Down character with a cost 2 or less. That's it from the hand. Germa 6. This card isn't very good. I don't really understand it. I read it. It basically just does the same thing as what the Germa cards would do. Like, sacrifice themselves so you can play the bigger Germa card. That's it. So, I don't know what the point of this is. Trash a Germa, 4,000 power or less. So, yeah, the dude that you would trash from the field. And if the number of Dawn cards is less, then you get to play the big dude. 5,000 to 7,000 from the grave or hand, basically. Or actually, not even from the hand. It's gotta be from the trash, so... I don't really understand it much. I mean, you don't get to play the pay Dawn, put back Dawns with the characters on the field. But you gotta be behind anyway, so... And you gotta spend a card. So I don't think this card is good. Then you got the Going Merry called Merry Go. I suppose this would be the original name. So when you play this down, you draw a card instantly, as long as your leader is Straw Hat. And then every turn, if the number of Dawn cards equal or less than your opponent's field, one of your characters gets +2 cost. So it's gonna be they're gonna be more immune to cost effects, I guess, like black cards that pop you and some other cards that pop you. That's it. This guy's just a vanilla. This guy too. This guy's pretty broken. So, blocker, 7 for 7, and then when you summon him, he's a junk synchron. Summon a black navy type card with a cost of 4 from your trash rested. So this is pretty good. It's, I guess, in a way gonna be a replacement for Gecko Moria. More balanced, but still very strong. Stats are worse, but you're also a counter in hand, and he's also a blocker too. And you gotta get specifically a black navy card that's cost 4 or less. You don't get 2. I still think this card is gonna be very good. Many black decks are gonna definitely favor this. I mean, it's a +1 at the end of the day. He's a blocker. What more do you want? And then Law as well is really nice. 5 for 6, blocker. And then when you play him down, you place 2 cards from your trash, bottom of your deck, and then you can draw a card or basically force your opponent to discard a card if they got 5 more cards in hand. Pretty good card once again. Awesome artwork. This is going to be a pretty sweet full art too. Or they're chilling in disguises in Dressrosa. Awesome arc. Then we got this guy. He's just a 2k counter, that's it. You can do some stuff to give minus cost, but it's just a 2k Thriller Bark for the most part. Bluno, this card isn't good. It's pretty big cost just to basically play a CP9 from the grave. But you gotta get rid of him and trash a card, so it's a pretty big cost just to get something different. Then we got Brook. Man, I prefer this guy so much more before the time skip. He was just this sort of gothic character, and Oda ruined him with that sort of rock star shit and the other bullshit he did. Anyway, so this card is sweet because it's an on-play and on KO. Basically, add up to 1 Laboon from your trash to your hand, so you get a Laboon back, and then when you die, you get to play a Laboon from your hand. So good shit, nice stats for the cost, and a counter. So pretty good. Then you got Garp. 2 Rested Dawns when you play him, so that's good on your leader. And You can rest this dude, and if your leader is Monkey D. Garb, KO a character with a cost less. This isn't, I mean, it can come up, but the Arrested Dawns ×2 to your leader is pretty sweet. Stats are good as well. And then this kind of, I guess, maybe the replacement for, what the fuck, the Ice Age. So it's a cost 3, and you get to choose one. KO a character with a cost of 2 or less, or give up to one of your opponent's characters -4. So I guess if you got multiple of these in hand, you can play one to decrease the cost of your opponent, and then play the other one to pop something. No trigger effect, but you know, you got some decent, you got some good shit. I mean, at least you know you've got multiple of these. It's not dead like Ice Age. If you got like the Ice Ages and nowhere to pop, with this, if you got a bunch of these, you can maybe do something still. Much bigger cost though at 3, and minus cost 4. Ice Age was like 1 and you get -5, so it was definitely busted in that sense. Okay, Enel, this is pretty broken card too. Basically, if your leader is Sky Island, so Enel, this guy gains Rush. So 10 for 110 basically, Rush, it's pretty nice. And then when attacking, you can trash a card from your hand. If you have 1 or less life cards, he's gonna gain 1,000, and you get to add up to 1, get the card from the top of your deck, put it for life. So this is pretty broken with Enel that already does life shit with his own effect. It's like, it's gonna be impossible to just murder this guy. So I think maybe Enel is gonna become a lot better again when this card comes out. Broken ass card, indeed. So this bitch doesn't really do anything. On playing on KO, you get to look at a life card, you or your opponent, and then decide if you want to keep it there or move it at the bottom. That's it. She's from the movie. Sanji, decent stats, blocker, and then if you have 2 or less life cards, draw 2 cards and then trash one from your hand. Good effect. You're gonna have to be almost dead for this to work, so it's a little bit annoying, but I mean, I guess in what? I mean, he'd automatically work in the Vegapunk deck, or just any deck, I guess, for life. Maybe you get to 2 quicker. You can use this. Not so bad. We got Jinbei next, 2k counter, decent stats, and then if your leader has Fishman or Merfolk, and you got 2 less life cards, play this card. Nice trigger if it comes up. Vegapunk, Old Man Ringo. So this card is, it could have been great, but they gave it an annoying limitation. So it's a blocker for 5, 0 attack. Look at 5 cards from your deck, and you play up to 1 scientist except Vegapunk. So you get to play the other, like his other sort of alternate egos, like the other scientists basically, where he split his brain into the other Vegapunks that are not Stella. And that's it. But if your opponent has 2 or less characters, then you gotta trash a card from your hand. So you gotta do this when they got a bunch of dudes, otherwise you're gonna have to pay a cost. The trigger is just draw 1. So it's kind of risky, because if you reveal, you know, I don't know, like an ace or a bigger cost character, you can't play it. It's gotta be like a scientist, 5 or less. So you got decent range, but you still might miss it depending on your deck. It's a negative card though. And you got this guy, he's not good. Too bad, because he's a good villain from the movie. Real pirate-like, Mad Treasure. Add a card from the top or the bottom, life cards to your hand, and then you get to pop something 3 or less. That's it. Or put it in your opponent's life cards. So the effect isn't so great for all the costs you gotta pay. And your opponent gains it at life too. It's when attacking, so you can do this multiple times, but not, it's just too risky, and not, you don't really gain that much. This iconic moment, pretty costly card once again. It's a counter for 4, you only get 1,000. Then if you got 1 or less life cards, play up to 1 yellow straw hat, cost 5 or less from your hand. So if you time this properly, then you get to summon something for free and gain a little bit of a boost. But that's it. I still think it's more on the bad than good side, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's not that bad. You can make use of it, but do you want to go through the trouble in deck space? It's the question. It depends. I think maybe with combos, on-play combos on yellow cards during your opponent's turn. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, and I think we're at the end, finally. I didn't mean for this to be this long, but I think I'm good with the time. We got the Going Merry Yellow Edition with the chicken wings flying. So you may rest the stage and turn up to your top life cards face up. One of your Straw Hat gets 1,000 until the end of your opponent's turn. So this is a good effect, but the cost is pretty high as well. Who knows though, in the yellow decks you might make use of it. Alright, that's it. And then the secret rare is this Luffy. To be honest, I'm not impressed by it. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think this is mostly a bad card instead of good. You get all of the, I guess, gear versions here. It is from the Ennis Lobby Water 7 arc, where he gets his new power. He's using these new powers for the first time. So what it does is basically if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more dawns than you, that's a lot. He's going to gain rush. But if you don't meet this condition, you don't get the rush. And this is a pretty big condition to have, basically. When attacking once per turn, you may return 2 of your active dawn to your dawn. And they got to be active too. It's crazy. And you set them as active and then you add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. So lots of different cards, man. Costs. You're going to lose a life. You've got to return active dawns. And yeah, I mean, you get the rush and he gets to become active. So basically you can attack immediately and then attack for a second time as soon as you drop him down if you meet all of the conditions. But it's a pretty aggressive card and a pretty risky card. To be honest, the stats aren't there for all the costs either. It's 6 for 7. Maybe if he was 6 for 8 or 5 for 7, would have been more justified. I don't know, I might be wrong. It might end up being a powerful card. It definitely has conditions to meet. You're likely going to have to pair with other cards to make the most out of it with purple. But I mean, if you can make it work, rush and then attack again, could be something. Kind of like the big green Zoro. Attacks multiple times. And this is the set, guys. 25th Anniversary Anime Edition, right? Or collection. Nice little set. It's definitely going to have a lot of hot full art cards for the chicks. And cool characters like Law over here. Pretty sweet. This one pretty sweet as well. The leader Luffy. This one's pretty badass, you gotta admit. Got my carrot here for my deck. So cool shit, you know, support for different leaders. And this new leader is supposed to be really good. We'll find out. And that's the 25th collection. Gonna be dropping pretty soon. Get yourself a box, I'd say. Maybe you'll get one of the cool secret rare leaders. I don't know. I don't know if these come as secret rares, how rare they're gonna be. Maybe you get one a box, I don't know. Okay guys, this is the set review. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What a